Alright, and we're back. We are on Shire, so I'm going to try to describe what the map does during the actual draft, so I don't have to do as much during the game and I can focus more on the players and the characters and stuff like that, and calling it as I see it. Shire is a 3-lane map. On the top and bottom of the map, at the very north and south pole of it, you will find a shrine, I guess is the best way to think about it. And if you capture both shrines at once, it'll put this colored stream that goes to the middle lane. And at the top north end of the middle lane, there is a dragon shrine that is kind of like a statue. And if you channel on that for whatever it is, 6 seconds or something, then that character who is channeling will become the dragon and essentially become this super strong boss guy with a big old axe. And he can breathe fire, he can punt heroes back, literally punt. He will shoot them pretty far away, and his auto attacks are really good siege, and so he's just seen as the objective for helping to push. So let's see here, no picks yet. They recently have moved from 4 bands to 6 bands, so there's 2 initial bands on each team, and the people seen with the crown are the banners. And then so they're gonna pick now, and then we're gonna pick 2, and then they're gonna pick 2, and then there's gonna be the next band phase, and then we're gonna pick 2, they're gonna pick 2, and there's a last pick on our team. And so the first band is the first pick. So they first picked Medivh, which is a rare pick. Interesting to see. He is a specialist, but he's kind of like a supporty, kind of like a side support character.
Here we go again.
He can make people invulnerable. He has a damage ability that if he hits heroes, the cooldown is greatly reduced, so he can spam it, and then he can put a portal down, which is really good at the competitive level. Actually, I haven't seen it in pros as much lately, but the portal's good. And that's kind of his base thing. Chromie's a mage who really just drops bombs on people. Malfurion we saw in a last game. He is a healer. They just picked Falstad, who is an auto attack range character with a global teleport really, but he kind of charges up in flight and he flies to an area of the map. It's not quite global, but it's pretty big. Thrall, who I played in my last recording, is a bruiser melee hero. And that's what we got so far. So they don't have a tank or healer picked. They have 2 damage and kind of a support role, but not a healer. And this game is pretty reliant on having 2 tanks. Healer has been kind of strong at certain levels for a long time, but you can get away with 1 main tank if you have a bruiser or kind of an extra frontliner with you, which Thrall could be. So our person missed their ban. You can see by the broken. No hero was banned for this ban phase because our guy probably just like picked and then AFK'd. So it looks like we need just another frontline character, and I'm gonna probably pick a tank. I might go with Diablo or Garrosh. Let's go Garrosh here. So I'm not gonna wait for this Muradin. So Garrosh is okay. He's apparently wanting me to main tank, which is fine.
Our time has come.
Garrosh he has an ability that knocks people up. He has a healing self-heal, which is it's your next auto attack special, but it's nice to have a little auto heal. And then he has a throw ability, which is his major displacement. He can toss an enemy anywhere around him. So you toss him, you throw him back into your team, throw him away from your team if you're trying to get away, whatever. Artanis is a bruiser. His main thing is that he can swap with an enemy. He has an ability that's a skill shot that he shoots out this little like prism thing.
I hear the
He swaps. Muradin's a main tank with a stun. Deckard Cain is a healer, and Zebo is he splits lane pretty hard and has a lot of AoE damage and can be a good siege player. So try to explain stuff there quick before we actually hop into the game so I can focus more on commentating what's happening in the game. Guess just doing a little more detail. So Deckard Cain throws out potions that can be run over by his team to get healed. He also has a root that's like a triangle that is traced over on the ground, and so you have to just try to get out before it's done tracing its full triangle graphic. And what's his other ability? Oh, he throws out a cube, the Herodric cube, which slows. And then Murden has Stormbolt, Thunderclap, and Dwarf Toss, which is really just a jump. So that's anybody familiar with WoW would kind of just know what that is, or even Warcraft 3 would know what he does. He is the Mountain King, pretty much. And what was it? Our Nazebo. He's the what is he in Diablo? The freaking not the Necromancer, the Witch Doctor. So he has toads that he shoots out that spread out in front of him. Throws a like vial of spiders or whatever, like pottery that's filled with spiders. So when it lands, spiders shoot out. And then has a zombie wall that can entrap enemies in a circle. Alright, so let's focus on Garrosh and I'll see what happens throughout the game.
Unkind to me this day.
I'm going to take Warbreaker, which is on my stun, which is my Q ability. You can see here that at the top of its radius, or at the cone, there's that little rectangle that's also traced out. And I have to land them. They have to hit in that spot to be knocked up and stunned. The W is the heal, Bloodthirst, and Wrecking Ball is me throwing an enemy wherever I please. So, like, I'm just going to do it here. I might as well. It's early. There's the root. I'm going to die, apparently. Oh, God, I was going to say. Did the man get a heal? So I'm going to use my health well early. I could have backed there too, but so there's triangle root. So I want to finish my quest as soon as possible. It just empowers it, so more damage and it's effective and slows after it's done and stuff like that. Oh, that move. So I'm trying to throw Muradin into our team, even though he is the tank and he's not exactly a great target this early. If I can get him killed by the towers by just throwing him into our tower range, why not? So Nazebo needs to go bottom to start split pushing for experience.
Control them and let loose the Dragon Knight.
Got you now.
It's a good idea here that I should really be more passive and let Chromie just start splashing down on people. She has two skill shot abilities, and one is like single target and one is more of an AoE. So there's the AoE splash right there. She aimed on the minions to try to clear wave.
Activate the shield and the dragon.
Keep throwing this Muradin in and see if we can get the towers to kill him. See, they're just sitting in the middle. They didn't even try to move out of the triangle.
I claim your life.
So there's these shrines popping up on the south pole and north pole of the map. Right now, blue, ours is being controlled bottom, or one is being controlled by us on the bottom, and top is being controlled currently by the enemy team. I'm going to go bottom. I would rather assist something we already control.
Gorehowl will split you in half.
Yeah, like, don't lose it. So we don't want to go on the offensive and lose what we already have. At least I don't. So he's low mana, which isn't good. I'm going to do Become Unstoppable, which will be very useful for that root. Just stay on it and control it. Now they have 3 bottoms, so our top should have a chance to do something up there. I'm going to just try to run away. Yeah, like there's...
Our ally needs us. Give me someone to fight. Enough of you. I will destroy you. Slay this foe now.
I have to say, but I have to soak all this experience up, or else it'll be a big deficit of experience if I just allow this to. Oh, what? Oh, I could have just tossed Muradin. Yep, toss. He needs to die. Come on, Nazebo. I'm gonna throw this Muradin, and he can jump out, sure, but man, he's just so out of position. Oh my god, what is this? Ugh. Admittedly, I was in plat at one point. I dropped back down into high silver, which is a little sad because there's just a general unfortunate lack of knowledge. I mean, like little stuff like that, where like Nazebo should be like, why is he sitting in a bush? Like, you gotta be effective somewhere.
Face me! Try and stop me! And stay down!
And they're controlling, and no one's mid. I'm gonna try to see if I can make sure no one's collecting mid. See, you can see the stream. That he can fly around if he wants, so he just grabbed it really with ease. Man, we don't have 2 losses in a row for the old first recordings. And Artanis, for some reason, is like when there's a boss up in any game, your main focus should be either displacing the other team so they can't be effective siege, or killing the boss. Like right now, and we just had Artanis do. He's just fighting in the middle of 3 enemies. Thank you, we killed Muradin.
Let that be a lesson to my enemies.
Alright, Nazebo's out in the middle of nowhere. But they did split back to soak more experience from minions.
Soon, very soon.
We should get a camp here to help our push because we're gonna need it. But apparently Artanis has one focus, and that's trying to gank someone. They're all coming bot to rotate on us. So there's the switch, which was good. Why didn't I toss him there? Malfurion like frontlining, I guess. Not gonna get a kill there, even though Thrall was low.
Victory!
They're 10, so they're about to use their ultimates all over our faces. Drew their healer back into our line, so luckily he got killed. We need 10 here, and we could actually turn this pretty well.
Cower before me! Face me!
We have a good push.
Enough of you!
Muradin killed.
I must retreat. Well fought.
They're all killed. This is a nice little turn.
Might makes right!
I'm gonna go top and try to see if we can get the objective here. Ideally, I'm picking up the Dragon Knight because I'm the tank, and so once the Dragon Knight's killed, I can take more damage. And like a caster or healer, obviously you don't want to be the Dragon Knight because he needs to be healing. So a tank or a like a wave clear specialist is best, or anybody that can really escape a potential bad situation. Malfurion just sitting middle.
Split you in half!
That's not good. Let's see. Artanis has died 3 times in 8 minutes. No way. Just try to save my teammate its life.
Your howl will split you in half. You can. Healing me was a wise choice. Enough of you.
Throw him behind our wall, get him killed. Luckily our Malfurion took his healing ult instead of his silence.
Killing spree. I will destroy you. I thirst for battle.
Alright, we're starting to get some good kills.
Give me someone to fight.
Oh, missed his swap.
I claim your life. I'll go
Controlling
where I
middle.
want to go.
Malfurion died. I think that's just one of those things where if there's 2 of us and 3 of them, and I'm running the opposite direction as you to escape, the Malfurion should be immediately running away and mounting and going. He's our healer. He has no need to be even doing anything other than running away and not dying. This should be his only concern. And we're gonna apparently fight this 4 vs 5 for some reason.
Your howl will
Yes.
split you in half.
Oops.
Try and stop me.
Oh, I'm dead. Oh, not yet. Right now we're kind of getting bailed out by them over this Muradin on their team overextending all the time.
Give me
So we're
someone
getting
to
some
fight.
kills on him. He's died 4 times, and yeah, tanks should take the brunt of the damage because that's their whole purpose. But when you're constantly out of position, you're actually not. You're not dying for a purpose. You're just dying.
I claim your life.
I'm gonna try to clear this wave. I took an ultimate called Decimate. The more enemy heroes I have, the cooldown goes down, so it's kind of spammable, and it slows enemies. And eventually, at 20, if I get an increase on it, I will also reduce their armor, I believe. I'm gonna stay bot and make sure we just control this shrine, and so because we're killing stuff, it seems.
I smell the winds of war.
If Artanis can get away, that'd be great. Oh, he got rooted. Okay, he got away though. Good.
I claim your life.
I'm just gonna keep soaking.
I smell the wind. You can't stop me. Enough of you.
They're gonna get bots. I'm just by myself. I don't do a ton of damage. For good reason. This kid is really strong. Looks like our team is all middle
I'll go where I want to go.
and dying.
Now you die.
Oh. Stay a while and listen. Followed by a time stop. Run away. Wanted to kill the healer, and we got a few, but probably was not worth the engage with someone dead. Our Malfurion keeps dying first, so that means he's out of position more often than not. He has 4 deaths. So I haven't been talking much about my talents, but pretty much just building him up to be tankier, and I have the unstoppable talent, so like roots and stuns and stuff like that won't be effective. And then I just took what Garrosh does is he gets tankier as he gets armor increase as his health goes down. So he essentially has armor for the amount of health he's down, and it increases as his health gets lower and lower. And so I just got an ability that doubles that, so instead of it being a passive, I can now activate it as well to double that effect. So if he has 50 health gone, that means he has 50 armor, so he's taking half damage. And I can essentially make that so at half health he just does not take damage. Or it's like 75% or some, I forget how the stats exactly work out. Like ideally I'm not doing this, but someone has to. Can't just let them get the objective. I guess it might have been a better idea at that point though. Yeah, this is just we can win fights, but we're not doing the objective very well, so it's what it is. So the Dragon Knight's coming middle, breathing fires and stuff. Thrall, you can see Thrall's emblem. He is the Dragon Knight right now. So it's one of those things at a higher level you can say, okay, if they don't have Thrall's abilities, how could we use that to an advantage right now while they're sieging us? But Thrall's not a bad character to have in the Dragon Knight, so he punted me, as you can see, went pretty far. So this is a time where we have to engage. Like this Thrall's about to pop out, so I'm decimating, I'm slowing. Oh, decimate. I'm just gonna spam decimate here. It's good AoE damage, plus it slows. I'm gonna just try to get a kill off on him. I might as well. Like, so we should stay middle and just siege. Like splitting. Why? Like, why? We're all here. We could just kill this fort right now, but this is silver. That's not gonna happen. Yep. So instead our Nazebo got a camp, which is all well and good. Camps are good. That should be dead. That fort should be down. We killed 2, it's 5 versus 3. We're all ready to go. We're not. It's just frustrating. But alright, might as well get it. If we're gonna do camps, you gotta do the camps. Don't split off, just try to control the objectives as best as possible.
The shrines are
Make them
gathering
have to
power.
do something about it. So I'm gonna go top. I think this is one of those times where doing nothing is probably the best idea. Anything right now is just getting caught. I mean, we could obviously. That's actually good. Ugh, he's so out of position right now. Kill the healer! Kill the old man! There we go. Okay, this is working out decently well. Oh, that is huge pull right there. See, don't chase.
Your time has come. Killing spree.
Like they're going after, like we need this thing. That got us back into the game, so now I can throw 2 enemies.
Have Friends in peril.
Victory!
Oh my god, Artanis, just run away. Don't fight. I'm gonna collect. So I am the Dragon Knight. Yay. Well, I'm gonna punt this Muradin. I'm gonna go top. Because we already have some push top.
The foe is gone.
So they're gonna kill me. So I'm just trying to get away while I can. Oh! Almost got him. I'm just splitting around and trying to keep the waves pushed at this point. One more punt off to maybe start a good fight here. Like, Deckard is out of position. Oh my goodness, do something about it. Oh, Nazebo is doing something about it. Oh yeah, get it, Nazebo. I'm gonna punt this Muradin. Oh, can he jump out of that? So we should stay. This is a 4 vs 5, and there's the double pull. I'm gonna start decimating to slow them. Hopefully I can get. So there's my level 1 quest finally getting done, which is way late. It should be done much sooner, but whatever. Like, there's no reason that we should not be shoving the shit out of this right now. We're 1 up late game, and we have good push with Nazebo, with those toads that you see flying out. I guess we're not gonna do it though. Might as well get camps. I guess that's what Artanis thinks is best.
I see you know who to heal first. Our strength is unrivaled. Battle is close at hand. You can't stop me.
So I can throw enemies, and so they stun when they hit the ground, and they stun on impact is the name, the way it is described. So I can throw 2 enemies who will be stunned upon their landing, but the impact is the stun, and so I can actually throw 2 people onto another group of enemies and then also stun them. So I just stunned 3 people on that throw. And then they're engaging, which is dumb, so I'm just gonna do some of this. I'm gonna use that active and double my armor. Throwing the dwarf. He's continuously out of position. So we had, in fact, turned the tide on the fight. I thought was a bad idea, but hey, you never know what the enemy's gonna do. So we should push top. Oh, no, we should get the objective actually. See, ideally, they have a false stat, which is smart, because I had mentioned him during the hero select that he can really just kind of like teleport wherever he flies. Instead of being able to mount, he has a, okay, no one's going bottom, except for healing. But, so he can fly wherever, so say he captures bottom, and he can get to middle within like 4 seconds, really quick. Got it again. Middle, everybody middle. Shove to win. So Dragon Knights get stronger throughout the game. So right now, like, this Dragon Knight is far stronger than the original Dragon Knight that first popped, the very first one that was captured by them. That's for good reason. They want the game to move along. They don't want the objective to lose. They want it to gain power as the characters gain power as well. So no harm there. I'm actually going to go ahead and start fort killing instead of going for the final base. I'd rather get more done than have a minimal chance of actually Oh, I'm gonna punt that false dad. Oh, no, he flew away. This thrall. I'm gonna go after this fort and just try to... Oh, well, he's just letting me hit him. Thanks, I'm gonna kill you. So he also does a lot of damage. His main purpose is siege, but if someone steps up on a Dragon Knight, they're gonna get smacked in the mouth. I have 17 seconds, which you can see on the bottom right. And the health, 40% health. That was a super effective Dragon Knight. I just took down 3 forts. So even though we're not going to probably get the win right now, we are going to have siege minions going down every lane. And stick around. We have a chance to win. Do not have... It's 4-on-4 though, so we have to be a little careful. But this should be game. I just use my activate, it'll become even tankier, healing myself, and we should be able to finish off the game. Nice. We could come back. We were down, and then kind of took it away from them. They fought us. It's a when an objective's coming up, and there's a timer that's telling you 30 seconds, and this thing is going to be active.
MVP.
It should go without saying that the last thing you want to do is die. So that's why I had mentioned, you know, we probably shouldn't engage right now. We don't want to die. And instead, we won that fight and they died. So the same logic went for them, it just worked out for us. Alright, nice little secondary test. Let's see how this one came out.